Gets above 500 ball, but if they stay at 500 ball, that's not a good. The trade-off is I'm sorry, I wouldn't settle for it. I would go if I'm in New York. 500 ball is not it. All right, we're going to go over to the question you addressed, Mario, which was pretty good. So, the March Madness women's tournament is underway. What's missing? Why are we not mesmerized by the women's March Madness competition? Now, before we get into the choices, what would get you more involved in watching the tournament? Think about it, Mario. What would get you more involved?
I think just knowing more about the teams. You know what? First of all, Vic, I don't follow the college teams. So like a lot of folks, I tune in just for the March Madness.
Right.
But I really was unaware. They don't get as much press. I was really unaware of the UCLA team. I would have got behind them more. First of all, you guys, the caliber of play and the style of play is so aggressive, run and gun.
Right.
The shooters. And I have to say this. I hate that because I am a man. Coach had me turned on. I gotta like the coach.
Oh, jeez.
Caldwell.
Yeah.
Is it Nikki Caldwell?
Yeah, I forgot her name. I don't want to
but I'm just saying,
very
Vic.
attractive.
I just think more
Very
exposure. I just think, what? It used to be said, and it was, that the caliber of play was so different, and it still is different, but man, Vic, man.
Right. Hey, I know, it was crazy.
Wonderful ball play. I told you I was like stunned. And then Vandersloot from Gonzaga, watching them go to the hoop and throw up balls as they're being no. I just think all they need is more exposure. I think that's all they need.
Right.
I think that if you like basketball, I think you're gonna like the women's play. It really is great. And I must admit I have a bias since my mom played college basketball.
Right. And I understand. I actually seen her throw down on you a couple of times here in the backyard. Meredith, you are so right, man. Just agreeing with what you said. It was a momentous collapse with the Dallas New York game. It really looked bad. It's one thing to lose the way they lost. And how they lost, it was terrible. But moving on, I want to get the choices here, Mario, that gets to where I think some of the factors may be attributable to why we don't follow the tournament and it has the same excitement. One is, I put number one is, Connecticut always win. I mean, if you go year in and year out, if the Connecticut women's basketball team tends to win all the championships, I think the story becomes indicative of, okay, it's the same Connecticut team, ranked number one, always number one. Number two, need more athleticism. Do the women need to demonstrate that more? Number three, we don't see any slam dunks unless they say, hey, it is a slam dunk. You probably the tallest woman in their league is 6'9", so when she slams, it's no big deal. Number four, need male cheerleaders.
That's what they need. That's it, Vic. That's it, because it ain't the other ones.
It's not the other ones?
No, because Tennessee, if you forget about Tennessee.
Right.
Oh, Pat, what's her last? I forget her last name now, but Pat Summit. Oh, man. She's Bobby Knight of the woman, man. But they always represent.
Right.
No. And just the other teams I was saying, no, Vic. I just think, and athleticism, I already told you how that's already up.
Right.
Slam dunk, they'll be there in a minute.
They'll be
there in a minute.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because it'll be there in a minute. But I just think the male cheerleaders, Jesse Lewis, they can just get Jesse, fly him out. I'm telling you, Jesse Lewis would be the perfect cheerleader for them.
Man, it's wrong.
And that would do it.
Well, okay, you bring up some good choices, but, look, I'm going to tell you with the same teams. It may shuffle here and there. Baylor's become what they call a powerhouse over recent years, having won championship already, but they still need more. Stanford, every year in and year out, is always in the Final Four at least, to the championship. But it's been the 90s since they actually, I believe, won their last championship. Connecticut is the beast that's more recent. They've won multiple championships. And then you had Tennessee, which was the god of women's basketball, and still is coming and reigning back in.
Oh, yeah, always represent.
So the teams that I always see that always are there is Connecticut, Stanford, and Tennessee. If those same teams are the teams that's there, and you know that they're the top-ranked teams, do you look forward to seeing something different, or you say, well, it's the same old teams?
Oh, I don't say it's the same old teams. I mean, some people could say that, about the NBA. To tell you the truth, I don't say that. I think because I just think more exposure. Again, the teams that I saw yesterday,
right?
Gonzaga versus UCLA,
great game. It was a great game.
They've been in the Final 16 before, right, but not not the Final Four, like you're saying. But no, I just think you need more time. I think there's increasing parity.
Right.
I think you have. I just face it. The women are just playing better. It is not even the same kind of ball they played when I was in college.
And let's give it to UCLA. They've been knocking on the door of getting in the tournament and slowly getting better. They actually were a top 10 team in the women's tournament. It was an upset yesterday. Even though they played in Gonzaga, it was still an upset. They were ranked higher. So, when we give out props to UCLA, that's the return of what we call one of the teams of the West, because, USC was the team back in the day.
I think they were UCLA was 10.
10.
And Gonzaga was 18 or something like that.
16 or 18. I cannot remember. Yeah, there was highly ranked UCLA team, so it was an upset for Gonzaga. So, we got
But boy, that UCLA team showed such competitiveness.
They're good.
Man, like I said, I was switching back and forth between the games.
Yeah.
Between the men's and the women's, there was good stuff on all around. New Mexico.
Right.
Playing a hell of a game against Alabama.
Yeah, New Mexico had a moment, and then Alabama just, gone and laid laid it down on the pavement for them. I must say that also while I was trying to watch that game, I couldn't help it because it was at the same time the New York game was on.
That's right.
And that's
why I missed the New York game.
Yes.
And you know what? That's the problem. I couldn't pull myself away from the college game.
Right.
Or I would have saw the Knicks game like Vic did.
Right.
So you know what? We need more. You got to have TiVo.
Right.
You got to have some stuff you got to watch delayed.
Yeah. And here's my thing. The men will crowd watching the women's game when they see the female equivalent or half the equivalent of the Michael Jordan in the female way. I think the athleticism is going to pull us in as viewers. It'll be more than just winning and going undefeated. We need to see the athleticism because we're spoiled by that.
And more, because now that you mention it, Vic, I think part of what they need, and I hate to sound sexist on this, is just better looking female athletes.
How dare you?
Because let me just tell you something. Think about it. The women watch, when you're trying to pull the other sex in, primarily.
Right.
The women watch sports. Only thing they talk about is watching the men's body and all that.
Right.
So now when men watch women's basketball,
why we're watching,
we're looking at the women's bodies too. Now It just turns out that female athletes who play basketball, most of them don't have the same kind of striking beauty that other sports bring.
What are you trying to say, man? What are you
the
trying to say?
female ballers don't look like the female gymnasts in any kind of way, or even the female volleyball.
Right.
So in basketball, and women's basketball particularly, you get people who are more masculine, and so sometimes that ends up working.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the whole thing. You got to watch it because you like basketball. Because let me tell you, I was so overwhelmed by the UCLA coach.
Right.
Because I finally was watching a women's basketball game and had one of my typical male kind of like moments. Like, wow, who was that?
Yeah.
Who was that? I was like, let's see her.
Well, and Mar, you're right. I think the part that we go to more than anything else is that you give us two elements for men. Good-looking women, because they're watching the opposite when we participate in sports, and also the athleticism. I just think those two components are the things that draws us in. Now, yes, is that fair or not fair? So it's not about fair, it's about what stimulates you. It's the animal that's always in us. Just like this show. Sports doesn't attribute itself to a lot of depth. So we may lose viewers who's going, make me think of something with depth. Well, this is serious. This is sports. Sports is serious, and it's wrapped around sex. And sex is wrapped around sports and their, partnerships in a good way, not a bad way.
Here she is, Vic.
I knew you was going to do this.
I had to get some pictures
I knew
of
you was going to do this.
Nikki Caldwell, that's one picture. That's not the best picture, though.
That's okay. You're happy.
That's a good picture.
You're happy. I know what you're
saying. She's not bad, y'all.
You're happy to represent, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, you see, while Mario does his search, I would hesitate.
The striking
Be
pink.
Careful, because he surprises you sometimes.
Striking pink. Okay. I mean, she's a tall woman. I don't even remember her playing, but it's good to have one of those ones that's feminine. And even I was checking out the assistant coaches,
right?
Because when they big old huge women,
right?
But this still got the nails and stuff. You kind of know what to say.
So really, what you're saying is that as long as the feminine quality stays strong, you'll be more inclined to look at them.
As a watch. You ask what would make people watch more.
Yeah.
And we watch male and females for the physical attraction.
Right.
That's why we like gymnastics. Look what the men like more, the gymnastics and the modern dance and all that.
I know, man.
You know, less than the women's ballers, even though we like the ball. But I'm just saying, on the basis of pure ball, okay?
Right. No, I agree.
It was good.
I agree. All right, you guys, we're going to go on over to the next, what we call shocked, stunned, expected. You know, just exiting out of the new sports because, you know, sometimes things may have truth, sometimes it may not. And are you shocked that fired former head coach Bruce Pearl of Tennessee, his violation was due to a picture of players at his house for some barbecue, and when the investigators asked, do you know where this location is? He said, no, I don't. And is that shocking? Because it was at his home.
It's shocking, Vic. It's shocked to know that a coach would lie.
At his home.
Because, you know, I thought today in 2011,
Right.
no one lies anymore. Don't we all tell the truth?
Oh, I see.
Especially Vic and I.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Everything you hear
Right.
here at Pack Stereo is the truth.
Yeah.
And only the truth.
So
you can trust us implicitly.
So you're
Implicitly.
you're saying that you're shocked or you're not?
I'm shocked because coaches don't lie, Vic. They don't lie.
All right,
they always tell the truth.
That moment just
The
gone.
coaches, just like women, don't cheat.
What gets me, Mark?
Women don't fart either. They poop.
We're not getting into that part. We're leaving that alone. We're keeping this on a positive
Okay.
spin. I'm trying to keep it there. We have some viewers from the Northwest. Okay, here's what's happening. Mark, I'm just blown away. Here it is. You're having a party, and it's for players. You're not supposed to talk to the players or recruit the players, and you're not supposed to have them at your home. There's a picture of your home. I'm pretty sure some of the people at the university have been at your home. They point a picture at him and say, do you know where this location is? And he says, no. And it's his home. At that point, the gravity of your violation went from about a 2 to what? What number?